it was such a nice day, we thought we'd go outside for our episode of Home Advantage. This is Kelly Warren. Thank you for coming out with me and enjoying this.
Thanks for having me.
You know, we got out of the car here, we noticed a fun, quaint little neighborhood. So I thought maybe that'd be a good topic for this segment and talk about neighbors and neighborhoods and things like that when you're buying and selling a house.
Perfect. I love it.
So I guess the first thing is, neighbors are going to start to notice the sign, first of all, and then word's going to start to get around, and then they're going to start probably seeing people come over and start doing open houses and things like that, right? Yeah. So what are the rules? Are they allowed to talk to the people coming in? Or are the people coming in allowed to talk to the neighbors and things like that?
Well, of course, buyers and neighbors are allowed to talk to each other. We can't prevent that, nor do we want to. It's a good thing to get to know the neighborhood and the neighbors if you're making a consideration of a large purchase for your next home.
Right. What's something you could ask a neighbor if you're looking into buying a house?
You know, it happens all the time where just a buyer is driving down the street and likes a house and sees a neighbor outside and just stops and talks to them. And it's not usually planned questions. It's usually just a neighborhood conversation. You know, hey, I was driving past. How do you like living here? How long have you been in the neighborhood? And usually the neighbor will just tell you things. Right. So any juicy gossip, anything about the house that they know, they have no problem sharing.
Yeah, and sometimes neighbors want maybe they don't want a family with kids coming in. They want an older family, or maybe they do. Maybe they have kids, but they're not allowed to sway it in any way,
So that's where you get into fair housing stuff.
So what's that mean?
So there are certain protected classes by the government that you can't discriminate against, and so your decision or the neighbor's decision on purchasing a house shouldn't be involving any type of fair housing situations.
Okay. How do we know if there's a home association involved, and if there are fees, and if there are meetings and things like that I need to go to?
So if there'd be an HOA, a homeowners association, and the real estate agent would let you know this property has an HOA, there's a monthly fee, you'd get a set of rules and regulations or bylaws to let you know, maybe you can't put up a chain link fence, maybe only fences can be vinyl fences in that neighborhood.
Or you have a dog and you need a fence and you're not allowed to have one.
Right.
Or you want to have a pool, but it has to be in the back.
Yep, so you got to know what you're allowed to have and not allowed to have in the neighborhoods.
Right. Just as a personal note, I would like to ask this question. Say my neighbor's having an open house. I've never been in their house. Can I go to the open house?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
yes.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, we have neighbors come to open houses all the time. And you know what? It's fun for us as real estate agents because then we get to know the neighborhood a little bit better. And of course, we want to meet the neighbors so that we can help find a buyer and get to know them. Maybe they're going to sell their house in another year or two. And it keeps us company. Sometimes the open house is a little bit quiet and we enjoy somebody coming through.
And plus, we're Snoopy and we want to see inside their house, right? All right. Hey, look, right in front of us, we have all the phone numbers and everything we need. So let's tell them visually how to get a hold of you guys.
They can call or text 330-717-2689 or visit us online at kellysoldit.com.
All right, this property's in Howland, but they do how many different counties now?
We're all over Northeast Ohio, mostly Mahoning, Trumbull, Columbiana.
Yeah, and they're doing a good job. So check them out, Kelly Warren and Associates. That's another edition of Home Advantage.